Oh, shit.
Absolutely. Have you got your dice out, lads?
Shit.
What are you doing? Oh, can you get Colonel Mustard?
You know, why is Aubrey not here?
And
I
she.
keep forgetting.
Why is Aubrey not here?
What was
Just apart from all
even the point?
Apart from all the camera equipment and all the help that you provide on a week-to-week basis,
Of course.
you have one job. Fiona.
Bring
Hello. How is everybody?
It can't be the cold opener.
It can be the opener because I said so. Right, let's jump in because we have a lot of D&D to play and not so much time to play it, but that is fine because it has been busy. Oh, weddings. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't find love. You realise that your wife-to-be is probably watching you going, don't get married.
Hello. Right.
She doesn't watch.
She doesn't watch this.
Last time. Party set sail from Ybrit on board the Falling Star, a ship belonging to Captain Sarcher and her crew. Points if you can remember the names.
Captain Dragon Lady.
Mirabelle,
Rockle.
Joseph,
Rockle.
Rockle, exactly, and Savian. Well done. Their quest is to transport the mysterious Lady Riverwall to Mount Arnan, along with her ever seemingly suffering assistant, Carmian.
Caramel.
Not Caramel.
Caravel?
Carmian.
Oh.
Blue can call it. Blue can call him what he wants. I will say that. That is Blue's thing. You escort her to a week-long expedition on the island and then return to Ybrit with whatever they find. After setting After meeting Seal aboard your ship, after setting sail a few nights into the trip, the party was surprised by two banshees appearing on boat, and after a scuffle, you set sail, ever more present of the dangers that Xerieos seems to possess on the open seas. A few days afterwards, the sea began to grow cold, a mist was forming up, and after a few hours there was a thud as creatures latched themselves onto the ship, seemingly sea slugs, or worse than sea slugs, icy, tendril, teethy, disgusting creatures. And after you had attempted to take those apart, literally with your axe, a seventh, much larger slug appeared. Together with Captain Sarcher, the party just managed to avoid, I love how I'm paying attention, certain icy death.
He just grabbed both of the last hot and spicy sausages.
He did a Fiona, is what we're trying to say.
No, it's not called me to the Fiona. Captain Sarcher, what's
Together with
he doing?
Captain Sarcher, the party just managed to avoid certain icy death and save the ship from certain destruction.
Yeah, that was close.
It was close. It was very close, even if it meant picking up party members from various points from the deck of the frozen ship.
Don't know what you're talking about.
After a hard-fought battle, the party took the night to recover. Aubrey, in particular, seemingly suffering from being rendered unconscious during the fight. The crew helped you return to normality, and after a few days, all seemed to be getting back together. You spent the rest of the time of the journey attempting to investigate into the comings and goings, or seemingly lack of comings and goings, of Lady Riverwall, and particularly Carmian, her assistant. But because of the fact that they buried themselves very effectively within the hold of the ship and within the captain's quarters, you didn't really find much, just that they're very secretive to that regard. Eventually, as Mount Arnan approached, and Blue had a very intense moment with what do you call a pod of dolphins? There's a squad.
Oh, we're not talking about the almost sex.
Oh no, it's a frightening thing. And I feel for you. It was a
provocative little shit.
The Falling Star eventually arrived at Mount Arnan. Docking offshore, the captain and the crew remaining behind, the party took to a small rowboat where you docked yourself, or essentially beached yourself on the north side of the island. The great mountain looming above you, you were surprised by the sudden appearance of Carmian and what you essentially know as the travelling box of Lady Riverwall. Her very elegant but very sturdy I really need to find the word for it. You know, it's like the sort of container that... Pagoda sort of thing.
Yeah,
it is a pagoda. Yeah, I keep thinking pagodas are the things you build on top of mountains. They're out at sea, temples and things. I don't know. Someone will tell me. Appearing in keeping herself to herself, Carmian instructed you all to make yourselves useful and find some shelter that they could camp on the island for your week stay. And so you were given a choice of 3 rough directions. It's a large island, but it seemed to be sort of roughly down to 3 things. You could go south or straight forward, up the mountain and up the cliff face as it rose above to see if you could find caves, cliffs, some sort of natural break in the terrain to set up camp and remain out of sight. You could go east or left for you towards a seemingly abandoned building set into the sea. Or you could go west, right, towards boulders set into the mountain. You chose to go east, towards the abandoned camp. And I've got
thank
written
God
down
we
here,
didn't split up.
Theren takes the lead. So,
Alone.
Theren,
Yes.
with the other 2 helpfully
standing all the way back
bravely
there.
standing behind at a
I
distance.
thought you were following him.
No, she was not.
What would you like to do?
I am going to draw a weapon, just in case, and advance towards the ruin, or no, the abandoned building.
Make an Arcana check.
Good luck.
Yay! 14.
14.
Congrats. Oh my god! Holy shit.
Straight away.
Wow.
So guys, if you want to watch a good program about listen to Where Podcast, which is
Oh, my podcast, yeah. The one-shot one. Yeah.
that's good.
That's good.
That's good.
I did one about Pride and Extreme Prejudice, where it's like ladies of marriageable age, but with giant robots. It's really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who did you do that with?
I did that with people you don't know. But
Do you know them through
I
Quidditch?
played. You know, I played. Yes,
Thank
good.
you.
I played through Crash Pandas as well.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, as you approach...
I just want to say, because it was really helpful when Ryan was very quietly whispering that you 2 were talking over her.
No, talking is good because you don't want to hear. That's
Yeah,
fine. I should have done it straight in your ear. I just have a difficulty getting too close to another
To
person.
David.
Yeah, so it's
I
like,
was kryptonite. It's true.
We should have just sat here in quiet and have
I just
10,
stare at the
30
cameras.
seconds of you whispering.
That's
to
also
each-
valid. All right.
just stare into the camera as the closing. Right, as you approach
Yeah.
the settlement, how are you doing so? Are you trying to stealth? Are you trying to be perceptive? What would you like to do?
I would like to be perceptive, but I also want to be cautious and ready for the first sign of combat.
Okay, right. You've got some time on your side, so I'm not going to make you do a perception check, but I will make you make a stealth check because at the end of the day, you see what you see. But let's do a stealth check. See how you pose. I assume the 2 of you are staying back.
We're gonna catch
That's
up.
4,
four.
because he has his heavy armor. Yes, I forgot about the disadvantage. That is good. Well done, for honesty. So you clomp your way over. It's a rough pebble beach for quite a lot of it, but once you pull yourself on, there isn't really a difference between the pebble beach and then the sort of rugged cliff face. There's very little soil, although it is in tufts. Reeds and grasses are growing into pockets of the island, but it's fairly barren. Think, we're sort of talking Scottish Highlands, mountains sort of terrain here, lots of loose pebble and rock.
Kind of like Hebrides.
Yeah, very grey,
Yeah.
but very imposing, especially with the weather. The morning's weather is brisk, cold, and wind sort of passing through you. You can see on the horizon that sort of grey, murky, in-between weather. You're not entirely sure which way it's going to go, but
Sure.
you make your way towards the village. There are 3 structures that take your attention. It's difficult to make out exactly how many structures there are, because as you approach, you see that they are in a huge state of disrepair. As you approach slightly closer, you see that it divides into 3 larger structures. You have a large building, about 20 by 30 feet, that has been built with hewn and very crudely sawn wood trunks, effectively. A very functional house has been put together straight up with a straw roof that's been put on the top of it. A smaller 20 by 20 square building is set about 20 feet beside it that is much more domed, think more like a sort of a teepee sort of shape, leaning in on itself. I'm in a watchtower, only 10 by 10, but about 50 feet tall, or you would surmise about 50 feet tall, before it toppled, smashing upon the rock before it. Everything is in a state of disrepair. So as you approach, I'd like you to do two things. I'd like you to make an investigation check, and I'd like you to make a nature check for me.
For a second, that was really what it was going to be. Okay, so make an investigation check. Yeah. Now roll initiative. Okay, investigation. 21.
Nice.
21 for investigation. Okay.
And nature, did you say?
Yes.
10.
10. Okay, 21 is a very good investigation roll, actually. You very quickly spot that a lot of the damage has been expedited. It is deliberate. It's difficult to tell with your nature roll what sort of damage it is, but certainly the force is fairly hefty. You would surmise whatever has been doing the damage to these buildings has a certain heft to it because of the way that the tower has been knocked. Actually, one of the posts that seems to be driven into the ground has snapped all the way through. You notice that fairly quickly. It has been clobbered and the thing has fallen. You see the larger building, a small door stands ajar, but the larger face of the building that you approach almost looks like it's been ripped open. Sort of 7-8 feet wide hole has been ripped in the side of this building, and you can see the wind has blown things in and out, that sort of eerie the air passing through the buildings. The worst one is the small hut. It seems that whilst certain things are still sort of holding themselves up, certain pieces of wood very haphazardly together, it looks like the whole thing has been cleared away. Something has been looking inside it.
Any sign of whatever could have done this still around?
You can make a survival check.
Natural 20.
Oh,
Hey!
Natural 20. Now that you're looking for it, it's obvious. You see footprints. You see large humanoid footprints, but big footprints. Exposed toes. You can actually see the pads of the toes and the foot. Very humanoid, but fat. Like a lot of weight has been put on them.
It's a
You
giant.
also see that they're very close together. And with a 20, natural 20, whatever this creature is, it seems to walk on 2 feet. It seems to be very heavy. You would surmise probably about 10 feet tall. You reckon there's probably at least 2 that have been in the area. You reckon that it's very ungainly. The weight seems to be a problem from the gait of its movement. And whatever this creature is, it seems to have gone back round the island in the direction that you came from. So passing round the island in that direction.
I turn to where my companions are.
Yes, and what would you like to be doing in the meantime? So you've sort of set off. Carmian is sort of just still by the box, sort of listening every now and then, like sort of winces and looks at you, and is sort of
I'm
talking.
invisible.
You are invisible.
You are invisible.
You are invisible. That's true.
Yeah, my passive perception wouldn't be enough to catch
Well,
you.
you know I'm invisible though.
Yeah, but I thought you were following Theren.
Well, you can think that.
Okay. Well, I've tried
Well,
and failed.
Would you like to make a stealth check? Are you trying to deceive Blue? Because with his passive perception, unless you're trying to be stealthy,
Sure.
he would know roughly where you are.
I mean, I'm
Being invisible is fine, but you still make noise.
So I, after failing trying to investigate the box, I probably would be like, fuck this, and then probably I'll head probably a few, like 20, 30 feet towards the boulders.
Okay.
Just to see what those are.
Okay, it's a large amount of space between you and the boulders. It's sort of 400-500 feet. It's a fairly large island, so you'd have to make some distance up, and you'd probably put about a kilometre between you and Theren at this point if you went in that direction. You're very welcome to.
Yeah, I'd probably just slowly do that because I'll just see what else is around this island. So
Okay.
I don't care about buildings.
Fantastic. Can you make me
Of course.
a nature check, please, and a stealth check as you approach?
Nature. That is a 15 and a stealth is a 10.
Okay, 15 for nature
Yeah,
and
10.
stealth is a 10.
Yeah.
But you are invisible.
Yes.
So, as you sort of approach towards the boulders, these large hewn pieces of rock that have fallen away from the mountain, between landslides, erosion, you can see this side of the island, the sea is pounding the side of the rocks in large cresting waves, and the weather is it's not that bad at the moment. You imagine in a storm the waves would be just absolutely devastating this island, this standing strong for however many thousands of years, but it's done the damage, and this boulder field that has created is actually quite impressive. Some of these boulders are 15, 20 feet tall. You would have to climb up and round and through them. It would be difficult terrain, and actually you see gaps in the boulders, sort of natural crevices where you can see bits of seaweed, pools of water are gathered, grasses, you can see little crustaceans gathering about. You could fit yourself into some of these gaps very easily, and these boulders, it stretches for sort of 700-800 feet beyond your sight. They rise above, and you would have to crest them to see over.
Right, sure.
And then they continue up the side of the mountain as well.
Cool, good to know.
Blue, what do you like to do?
Well, after failing to ingratiate myself with caramel, Blue will go, oh, well, I'd better join Aubrey and Theren. And I'll go back to where Theren was,
Okay, fair enough.
because I saw him wandering off.
Wonderful,
Yeah,
so we
that
plod over. Make me a survival check.
Okay. Survival
God.
8.
8.
Do I get lost?
Yeah. No, you don't get lost, but you just notice something about this island. It's really depressing. When you thought about leaving Melis and seeing the wider world, you're used to greens and forests and grass. Everything you've seen so far has been quite disappointing. It's
like Milton Keynes.
The famed island.
Milton Keynes. Oh, yes, I love that.
Childhood friend.
So putting that
It's
in.
very dull.
Just roundabouts.
I'm so going
That's
to
all
put
it
an
is.
island
Islands and roundabouts.
of Milton Keynes. That would be great. With concrete cows that stare into the If you don't know what Milton Keynes is, Google it. You'd be very underwhelmed.
Yeah, we all are.
So as you approach, you see Theren. You now would have approached into this little sort of, I wouldn't even say village, hamlet of some sort, outpost. As you're going around, remind me of your investigation check.
It was 20 something, right?
Yeah, 20.
Yeah, it's 21, I think.
It was over 20.
Yeah.
Okay. So, would you like to skirt around the village, or are you going to explore within? Because because of the way it's a slightly overcast day, the way the wood's been sort of pushed in, you'd have to get within about 5 feet of these houses to sort of see through either the wood or to go inside to have a look.
I will look within.
Perfect. So, which one would you like to go and have a look at?
Which one is closest to me?
You would be approaching from the north, so the tower.
Okay, I will take a look at the tower first then.
Okay, so you've seen the damage on it.
Yeah.
And actually, the thing you find close to the end of the impact, where the tallest point of the tower has fallen into the ground, you see embedded into the sort of pebbly beach the remnants of about half of a suit of armour. Just lying there as if it's been pulled apart and left underneath the wood, smashed in. And actually, now that you are there, make me another. You can either make me a survival or a nature check.
Yeah, because
think
I'm
I
actually
might
sounding
prefer.
like, oh, cool. Oh.
Blue, you would be approaching about this sort of time right now.
I'll take nature.
What a dump!
10.
Distracts him from
10. There's a lot of blood.
Blue.
Oh god.
Blue, shut up. Something
My poor
has,
audio, please.
I'm sorry.
something has wiped out everyone that was here.
Ooh. What do you think it is?
At least 10 feet tall, heavy, two of them. Where's Aubrey?
She's not with you?
No, she was with you.
Aubrey! Aubrey!
Stop
You don't hear
yelling.
anything. You hear it echo across the mountain.
Where did she go? Were you not watching?
I may have made her invisible. She wanted to... I thought she was going to be like a stealthy backup for you. But I don't think that's what she's done.
Why? What? I don't even know where to begin with that.
Is the next theme of our adventure going to be collaboration? Like, we've done consent. Now it's collaboration.
This arc is...
It's like the 3 C's.
T
Chapter 2, D&D consent.
Are you testing me?
No?
I'm not talking to you.
Oh, you're talking to... Okay.
Right, look, something... I point out the blood and the messed up armour.
Yeah. Do you recognise the armour?
Do I recognise the armour?
You would. You recognise the insignia of the order. Make me a history check with advantage.
Shit.
Well, first one's an actual 1.
Well, it's a good thing you got advantage then, isn't it?
Yeah.
History.
I don't know the order. Who are they?
14.
14. Looking at it, you recognise the order immediately, but this is branded insigniaed armour. So this is members of the order of a higher rank on official business.
Yeah.
Not the subtle equipment that you came out onto your goal with. So this is...
It's an Inquisitor.
It's not an Inquisitor. The armour is not of a high enough quality. It has more of a chainmail quality. So it's similar to the sort of armour that you left with. You would guess, at a sort of guess, this would either be a scribe or a member of the task force. Somebody given armour but not necessarily built within a fighting capacity. Somebody of the preservation service.
Should we bury him?
That's a member of the Order.
Should we order?
Blue, now you're here. You can make me a nature check as well. Now that you're close.
Nature. Oh god, that's... Is that right? Yes, it is right. 12.
12. The thing you notice is some of the stones that have the blood on them. The patterns of the blood are very interesting, almost as if you've seen gnomes from your hometown painted watercolours before. That sort of ability of paint to sort of flow and dry in sort of sweeping patterns. The rocks, whatever blood has fallen on these rocks, it seems to have been disturbed in some way.
Did you see that?
Yes.
You see how it's dried? It looks like someone's done painting with the blood or something, disturbed it in some way.
Right.
Weird.
We need to see if there are any more of the Order, if there are any survivors.
Yes. Should we, objective 1, make sure we've got a camp sorted first, or do you want to investigate further now?
I think we have to investigate further now, because if we just make a camp anywhere, we could be making it in the hunting ground of whatever did this.
Okay.
Point of information, it's about 1 o'clock right now. So you've got a lot of the day.
Should I do a sending message? Oh, have I not told you that? Yes, I have told you. Haven't I not told you?
You said you were talking to your dad.
Yeah, I can send messages to people I know. I think we've got through.
Right. And you're going to send one to Aubrey.
Aubrey, what will you be doing right now? You've got to the edge of this boulder field. You're very aware that Blue drifted off in the other direction. What would you do?
Can I scramble up on top of one of the boulders?
You can.
Sweet.
You can either make an acrobatics or an athletics check for me.
Oh, I want to make an athletics check.
An athletics.
Please, that's a
Go
plus
for
8.
it.
Good. That'll be a 12.
12. You do start to scramble up onto these rocks.
Okay.
They are damp in places because of the sea is sort of spray just catches the breeze every now and then, and a wave that could be 70, 80 feet from you will just pick up into the breeze and just drench you every now and then. There is a mould and algae that makes it quite slippery, but with time, it takes you about half an hour or so. You do manage to start to climb onto the boulders, and are you looking to crest to see the view?
I want to get to the top of whatever I'm climbing and just have this. I want to see what there is. I want to have a good view and be able to turn around and see what I can see from the other side, like a 360.
Perfect. So you make your way to the top. It will take you about half an hour to 45 minutes sort of time with that rock.
Okay. Just
you crest over the boulder field and you look down upon the other side. You can see where the boulders almost give way into a bay of some kind. That seems to have been created by some of the mountain falling in onto the sea, and it's created almost like a beach, a sandy beach at the bottom. You see at the bottom 5 creatures.
Okay.
They are the most disgusting creatures you have ever seen. They look from this distance like humanoids.
Okay.
Oh god.
But bigger.
Oh, no.
They are fat. Really fat. Uncontrollably fat. Sagging just chest and stomach that drops down below their groins. Knees that roll almost to their feet. Feet that roll so that the fat on the feet hits the floor around the foot. You can see a neck and shoulders that almost crest up above the ears. And all around them just scattered with debris, sticks. You can see crossbow bolts, you can see arrows, you can see various things that have been put into them, but they are sleeping. You can see most of them are slobbed in some way around.
Definitely Milton Keynes.
In fact, they look a little bit like this.
Oh no!
Oh,
So you can put that towards that camera if you want.
Oh,
So you can
that's
see.
gross.
that was half right.
Flab.
You can see they are sleeping. Two of them are sprawled out across the rocks, and the snoring you can hear from here, rumbling. What you first thought was the sea, you can hear. A third one seems to be sitting, just sort of in a trance and dozing. A fourth one lying on its back, and just occasionally will point at something in the sky, and then will put his hand down as if it's too much effort.
Oh.
But a fifth one,
Uh-oh.
looking around.
No,
I'll
I'm
put the
invisible.
rocks
I'm invisible.
to where you are. But you are invisible.
Yes.
You are invisible. You can see it sort of stares around. You can also see from the camp a path that seems to stretch lazily up around the boulder field, and you couldn't see from your first path, but it seems to crest over the boulder field and down. So it looks like this camp can clear the boulder field from where you've come and almost go back towards the beach where you arrived.
Okay. Great.
You can make me a perception check. Giants are not hard to see, so there's no
10.
perception check. There's 10. You see some gleaming coming from the bottom. Something catches the sun that is shiny, something metallic, but you're not sure what it is.
What, near the giants?
Yeah, in the camp there is a pile of some kind that has been created, but it's something shiny in it, but it's difficult to
See
tell.
what it is. Okay, cool. I then carefully but quickly scramble back down the
Aubrey! Where are you?
No, it's in my mind.
Which way are you going?
I'm going back towards the beach
Fine.
where we were.
So, the two of you've got plenty of time right now. Aubrey is off the other direction. What would you be doing?
Just at the point where Aubrey is most nervous and panicked and needs to just be still and mentally calm, I cast Sending.
Okay. So what does sending look like?
Oh yeah, good point. What are the components?
I'm assuming you have to talk. That's probably one of them.
Oh yeah, you do. So I twist out the small copper wire, fine copper wire, put it between my hands and go, "Oh, Aubrey, are you okay? Oh, I need to wait for you to respond to this message first. Right, I'll finish. You can reply in 25
So you hear this, but it's very loud from what you can hear.
Jesus. God. Hi, Blue. How are you?
This would be, because of the timings, you would still be scrambling up the boulder face at this point.
Cool.
Oh,
Just
sorry.
to make for a little clarification.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm a bit busy just now. We'll reply back later. Make sure Theren is okay. Okay. Aubrey.
She's off with Aubrey. I love that.
She's fine.
Where is she?
She didn't say she's busy.
Mark off that. Is that a third level spell?
Yeah, it is.
Mark that off.
Wasn't the whole point of the damn spell to find out where she was?
No, that was such a... She asked after you. She asked if you were okay.
Well, then she's definitely not all right. She's acting out of character.
No, I think she's changed. I think,
Can you
we've gone through so much together.
Can you get back in touch with her?
Okay.
No. Right. Hold on. How does this work exactly? What is it you're doing?
I can send 25 words her way, and then she can send 25 back my way.
Right, hang on. How did you both send 25 words to each other and you have no idea where she is? What did you say? How are you?
Yeah.
You saw her 2 minutes ago. You don't need to know how she is.
Well, I want to know she's alive.
Blue, there is blood everywhere.
Oh, okay. Do you want to write this down? So, blood.
No. Right. Okay.
Cry.
Where are you?
No. This armor
Do we
belongs
need
to.
anything?
Do you need anything?
Yes, we need her to come over here.
Oh, come over here, please.
We don't need please.
No,
We don't need please. Please is frankly, it's pointless affectation at this point. Look, right, Blue. This armor belongs to part of the reclamation service, preservation service.
Preservation service.
Thank you. That they don't just turn up places unless there's something to find.
I understand.
Do you?
Yes.
You shook your head a little bit there.
Something in
You're
my
winking
eye.
at me at the same
You
time.
can't see that eye. I've got an eye patch.
You always forget about that.
Yeah, I do too.
I always forget about the eye patch.
Okay, no, yeah,
Right.
I know. Something's up. I get you. So, what do we tell? What do we say?
Just tell her to come to this hamlet quickly and quietly. We cannot afford to be separated here.
Okay. Right. You start investigating. I'll spend some time thinking the perfect phrasing.
I'm going to that house over there.
Okay, just scream if,
I will not scream. That would be a bad idea.
But
no screaming.
Okay, if there's something scary...
I will wave exuberantly.
What if it... But you're in a building! I can't see you waving behind a brick
Blue,
wall.
if there is a fight, I'm sure you will hear it.
Gotcha. Happy hunting!
I go to the next closest building, which is the smaller one, right?
Yeah. Smaller, about 20 feet by 20 feet, and his eggs are ripped apart.
Okay, I want to take a look inside specifically for any other members of the order.
Okay. Can you make for me a history check, please?
17.
17. Okay. You do find some things. The building appears to have been rifled through. Things have been dragged out. And there is a huge amount of disturbance. Gathered from what you've seen, you start to link up little bits that perhaps whatever these creatures were going for things that were alive. Because a lot of what's been left behind is inanimate and not sort of flesh or organic material. It's papers and woods. You do see what appears to be what would I best say of putting it? Crates of supplies that have been completely obliterated. All remnants of food and water have been taken and picked clean. You can see there are various weapons, very blunt looking swords, axes, a few shields, certainly more than you would expect to see in one place. you find paperwork that has been blown everywhere, still sodden, rain damaged. You collect up what you can. Most of it, you would imagine, has been blown away to the breeze and damaged by the rain. But you see enough pieces of paper to start to gather a few facts together. If you took some time to go through it, it would take you sort of 20, 30 minutes to go through everything and
Okay.
give you some sort of understanding that there are, flicking through it briefly, it seems to be a combination of ledgers and personal notes.
Then I want to gather every piece of paper that's legible and hasn't been too rain damaged.
Yep.
Stuff it in a separate compartment in my pack.
Yep.
And move towards the last building.
Okay. Fantastic. Blue, what are you up to?
Sending. Hi, Aubrey. Sup, girl? Okay, so
Fucking kill him.
Theren says hi. Where are you? Could you come to the East Village, please? Lots of blood. Love, Blue. Bye.
You hear this. It's taken a little bit of time. You're sort of cresting near the top of
Okay.
the hill.
So I obviously get this message and then look out and see, and I go,
Bit of a pause.
ah,
Ah.
well, there, I think I know where you can find.
She's having a stroke.
The solution to the blood? Not good with words. Be back soon. Okay. Bye, Aubrey. Climb down.
Just think how many sending spells just are like hello and the name of the person signing off. Just whiz those. Mark off the spell slot.
It's done it.
Yes, that's right. Burn through your high level spells.
Amen.
They will soon learn what an adventuring day is. So,
And?
She said she's fine and she'll come as soon as possible.
Where is she?
She still didn't say. I think it was bad reception or something. It was
Okay.
very. But she says she
I'm going
knows.
to kill the pair of you.
She says she knows why there's blood here or
Right,
something.
why?
She didn't say.
Oh.
She's very mysterious.
When is she coming here?
Soon.
When is soon?
It's 25 words.
Then surely you would just say, I'm here,
Yes?
such and such miles, be 30 minutes.
I said we're at the village.
the two of you hear
Don't shoot the
a
messenger.
very loud and deep of something stirring within the big house. I'd like you both to roll initiative,
Oh
please.
no!
Being fantastically loud. I was rolling as I went along, and this time the wind blew in the direction as they got closer.
You might be able to
So-
go first.
Let me. Oh, I need to actually roll. Oh,
Is this the
that's
final building?
appropriate. Okay, that is very appropriate. I love that.
Might
That
not
is
be
just
as appropriate enough.
I'm
right.
coming.
Theren,
20.
20. Okay, and Blue.
11.
Okay. I'm afraid, Aubrey.
Yep.
You are
Yeah, I'm not here. Yep.
sufficiently far away. You're
I
about a
will not-
kilometre
yeah, I'm
away,
not
but
gonna
I
get
don't think I'd had a look through abilities
Don't worry, I'm
and
not
things. I
going to
don't
get there.
think
That's fine.
even Aubrey could throw a javelin 900 feet.
You could
but
try,
we'll,
but unlikely. Yeah. That's fine.
okay,
I'm climbing down the boulder anyway, so.
let's get a map out.
Oh!
Right. So we have a very simple map here. You can see. Actually, if you just push the map just a little bit that way, you can see we've got three sort of things. And Fiona a little bit? Perfect, that'll do. So, we've got 3 buildings. Actually, David, you can show. So, the one closest to you, you can see where the tower was and kind of where it's fallen over into sort of patches of debris there. You can see you're near the smaller building now. This map, by the way, is a 10-foot map. So, this is a zoomed out map, so slightly bigger. And then the bigger building, you can see where the door is, closest to you, David, and where the whole of the building is. You hear the noise coming from it. Theren, you are quickest to react. What would you like to do first?
What Theron's going to do... how big is this hole?
It's about 8 foot wide.
And how far is 1 square?
10 feet.
Okay. So Theren is going to...
Theren and silver and blue, by the way, of course.
Thank you. What Theren is going to do is he is going to...
Do it.
bottleneck the hole.
Okay, great. So you can move over. You've got movement to do that.
Yeah.
You stand inside. Would you like to make a perception check for me?
I would love to. That's a 1.
Jesus Christ!
What?
Nuts.
You see something moving, but in the time it takes for you to get into the bottleneck and raise your shield, you don't catch exactly what it is, just a mass in the central area of the room. Would you like to do anything else? If your movement?
What's it doing?
You can't tell.
Is it looking at me?
You can't tell. Not with a 1, I'm sorry.
That's fair. I am going to hold my action in case it moves towards me and approaches melee range.
And what would you like to do? If it approaches melee range,
Oh, I'm going to stab it.
stab it. Perfect.
Could be friendly.
So that's, I think, everything. Did you want to do anything with your bonus action?
No, I'm going to hold off for now.
Okay, great. Blue.
Run it behind. 1, 2.
Yep, so 10
Yeah,
feet
you'll
of
be-
square, so
yeah.
30 feet will get you to there.
There. Take the dodge action, and I'm going to inspire Theren. I'm going to say, "Get him! He likes strife. Get him! He's got Pereth in his life. He's going to throw down to the brick of dawn."
Amazing, you are inspired. Mark that inspiration
We're
out.
all inspired.
Thank you.
You are.
Do I get inspiration
Yeah,
from that?
do I get it
If
from
only.
very far
If
away?
only I was a nice DM. The creature, hearing the noise from outside. What languages do you both speak?
Common, Elvish, Dwarvish.
Common gnomish.
Okay. You hear the guttural noises. When speaking Dwarvish, you would recognise it as giant, but you don't recognise enough of the words to get what it's saying. But it sort of calls out briefly before it goes, and it stands, and you see this entity stand from the floor above you and rise above you. 10 feet tall. You can see where its head, it has to stoop down as it pushes itself through the door. You may make an attack of opportunity.
Thank you.
I think I like that it gives the size of it there. It does stand almost twice the height of Theren. It's pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Come on.
18.
18 hits.
Oh!
Holy sausage.
Well needed inspiration there. Just do it.
Smite.
Okay, you smite. You feel the power of Bear Claw as you fuel it with your radiant energy and stab.
2, 8, 16, 21.
21 points of damage.
Whoa! Fucking hell.
You stab straight into this creature's leg. There's a moment in its confusion, you can see groups of sleep running down its eyes. And in one hand, you can see the remnants of an arm, seemingly ripped from the joint and eaten. hugely down. Even the bone has been crunching before this creature seems to have fallen asleep midway. You can still see the blood smeared down one side of its face. Your sword, the energy radiant, burning into its leg. The smell of the cooking fat as it looks down, looks at you. And the spit just flies at you. You feel the air as you open your eyes, and it's disfigured hands. You can see barely fingers. It's just fleshy, meaty, like clubs almost, as it swings out towards you with them. First attack is only 11 to hit.
Right.
That doesn't hit.
Nope.
And the second attack is 15 to hit.
Nope.
You're ready for it. It swings at you, and you just manage to catch yourself back. Its arms, just without even meaning to, clobber into the side of the house, and there's a crunch as the house begins to fall on one side. It sort of looks as it starts to push itself out of the house and sort of encroach into your space there. That is its go. Theren, it's your go.
Okay, as my bonus action, I am going to use Hexblade's Curse.
Nice.
Yep.
So, as this thing is wailing at me and I'm sort of deflect it with my shield,
Yeah.
I'm going to glare up at it and say, I shall cut you to pieces for what you've done to my brothers.
Sort of looks hatingly down at you, licking its lips.
And I'm going to attack it.
Okay, perfect. So you've used Hexblade's Curse.
Yeah.
Great.
Shit. That's an 11.
11. You swing at it, and this time as it kicks out its leg, and you have to just about dodge as this huge fleshy mount. Its kick almost at your head height. It's not acrobatic, it's just so tall.
Yeah.
And you have to step back, thump as its leg hits into the ground as you pull back slightly.
Right. Okay. That's it for me. I'm going to hold my ground.
Fair enough, Blue.
I have a question for the DM. With my Mac Fiona hurdy-gurdy flute attachment,
Yes.
do I need the material components for those if
No.
they're going to be consumed?
The only material components you would need to use your instrument are ones that specifically carry a gold piece equivalent. So if it has a gold piece equivalent of something that it uses,
It says it's consumed.
no. So there's no golden silver, there's no gold cost for that, so you could cast it.
Okay, cool. And for that, looking at this thing, do I know if it would fall into aberration? Or a particular kind of enemy?
You can make me either a history or a nature check,
Okay.
depending on what you like.
This would be good if it works.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
It doesn't work.
Oh, both not good. So that's a 3.
It looks like an aberration. You would like, this thing is disgusting. It is horrifying. It's not like anything it should be.
Okay, I run up and cast protection against evil and good on Theren. Which, until the spell ends, which is concentration 10 minutes, one willing creature you touch is protected against aberrations. I've chosen aberrations. The protection grants several benefits. Creatures of those type have disadvantage on attack rolls against the person I've touched. Target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. And there's other stuff, but it's not relevant. So if it is an aberration,
You're
great.
okay. Yeah.
If it isn't, cock.
Okay, perfect. So you cast a spell. You feel that radiant energy begin to glow around Theren, protecting him from this horrific aberration. So your movement, your action, anything else you want to do?
Run away.
And you run away. Okay, you were within melee range of Theren, and you look up as you duck to see the giant's arm, longer than you thought,
It's got a big reach.
flash out at you. That is an 18 to hit.
That hits.
I'm so sorry. It has extended reach.
It has reach.
It's a big creature. That is 11 points of bludgeoning damage
not
as you're
bad.
caught in the back as it catches you. You just about managed to dodge the worst of it. The creature, looking at you, frustrated in its attempts to smack you, it just... And with remarkable speed, it moves forwards. You duck out of the way, and it almost seems to sort of groin hit you as it comes towards you, walking directly at you. You duck out the way, raise the shield, and then there's a moment where you go, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, thwack, as it sits on you. The thing lifts itself and sits on you. You are grappled and restrained currently by this creature, as it's so big you don't even get a chance to move out of the way. It just sits on you. And you will take some bludgeoning damage from its weight. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage. But you were grappled and restrained. But it is your turn.
Okay.
So we'll just say this. So the creature
Up into the
is
a-hole.
right on top.
Aubrey's blast up to the arse, right?
I mean, if it's sitting on me...
It's difficult to really express this more than it is, but it is right on top of Theren there.
I can stab this thing while it's on me, right?
Yes, but you are restrained, which means you have disadvantage on your attack rolls whilst you are restrained.
Or I can try and get out of it, which is going to be a contested strength.
You would imagine so.
And I'm not very good at strength.
Do you have any other spells?
It's the weight of this thing that's on top of you right now.
You need to get off you.
I do need to get it off.
I might be able to get it off you.
I think I know if that works.
That would probably work.
But then I can't tell you that.
I've just realised I should have had advantage on my first roll. Oh, I hit anyway. Fuck it,
It's
doesn't
fine.
matter.
Oh, because of True Strike?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, there's too many things to remember. You're going to have to pick that one up. But we've spoken before about the True Strike change, the first round of combat. You get advantage.
I was going to not burn this because I've got a long rest, but I'm going to have to. So, okay, having this thing sat on me, I yell, "Parith's sake, this thing is fat! It needs to lose some fucking weight." And I use a Power of Enmity on it.
Okay.
Which,
it's very easy to focus on this thing.
Yeah.
Your rage upon it, it is on top of you right now.
Which would give...
advantage on all the...
Yeah, which would counteract...
It does, it's a straight roll.
Yeah.
Come on, David.
There's a one again.
It's a one.
Is that a natural one?
Yeah.
No, you go, Parith will smite you. And realise you can't move your sword arm at all. You are totally pinned.
Yep.
Unfortunately. Is there anything else you want to do? That's your you can't move, your movement's 0.
That's
so
it.
Blue.
I've got a really good character lined up, don't worry.
No!
What would you like to do, Blue?
Would I be able to judge if this thing weighs more than 500 pounds?
You can make for me an intelligence check.
Oh, I'm really good at those. Ooh.
Yeah, you are good at those,
Just
apparently.
straight intelligence.
Yep.
It's 17.
I'd put a 14 DC on that. That thing is heavy. That's really heavy. You wouldn't be surprised if it weighed more than 1,000
pounds. Shit.
Specifically 1,100. I don't know why it gives its exact weight, but there you go. Maybe people have thought of this exact thing. Great idea. Great idea.
I doubt it has any metal on it.
You can see various bits of metal on it. You can see ammunition. You can see bolts and arrows and things that have been lodged into it in various... Actually, now that you're looking for it, you can make me a perception check. Now that you've specifically asked me about it.
Perception... 11.
Yeah, this thing has seen some fighting. Things have been trying to shoot into it, but from what you can gather, just the metal in it is just nothing compared to just the flab protecting this creature.
Okay. Is there any... Yeah, okay, so I'm going to go for something, if there's like a fleck of metal embedded in it, like just next to his neck or something.
Okay,
like if it's
yeah,
got
you
an
can probably
arrow,
see something like that,
and I'll
yeah.
cast heat metal on that.
So you can't keep metal, fantastic. So the hurdy-gurdy sparks back up, and the
Get off my
ammunition
friend!
embedded into this creature, there's a sizzle as this substance glows white hot, and there's a sort of as it sort of desperately tries to knock it out. So how much damage does it take?
2d8.
2d8. Roll for it.
Wait, is this concentration?
Heat metal is concentration, yes.
It doesn't say concentration.
There
Oh,
should be a
it
C on
says
it.
a C.
Yeah.
Should I do?
I think you've already
You already said it.
cast it.
You already said it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so the protection from
You'll be fine.
evil, which... no, it's gone.
Oh, not bad. That is
11.
11.
11 points of fire damage. The creature starts to swat at the thing on its neck, sort of distracted subtly.
Okay.
Anything else you want to do?
bonus action. Theren, you can beat this ass on top of you.
Thank you.
Very good.
And
Anything else?
yeah, I'll just keep shouting expletives at this thing.
Okay. Well, you just keep shouting.
You piece of shit.
The creature sort of looks at you and sort of snarls at the heated sort of metal on the back of its neck. Sort of looks down at Theren underneath, still wriggling, and just sort of sat on something quite uncomfortable. And you see it just go and slam down with its ass, which it has advantage on,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So, which I think is the only way I'm going to hit you. 19 to hit.
That is my AC.
Is your AC? Fuck, I've got to roll high. That is an 18 to hit. So only one hit with advantage. Jesus Christ. There it is, AC. You take another 12 bludgeoning damage as this thing
12.
starts to crush you into the floor. And because you are pinned as well, you do take a little bit more damage.
Okay.
On top of that, you take another 7 bludgeoning damage on top of that. As
Okay.
the weight of this thing begins to suffocate you as you're being crushed into the ground. But it cannot move whilst on top of you. So, Theren, it is your go. You still have this thing hated in your mind, locked in. What do you like to do?
I've got to get off.
Yeah.
Okay, right. First of all, I can speak, right?
You can certainly try.
Is my face covered?
At times. It's very malleable. It's almost like putty, but stinky, sweaty.
Almost like flab, really.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like being crushed by a space hopper.
Okay, then I try and
It's something that
say
David's like, yes, I know exactly what
as
you
audibly as I can. Blue, I think it's time for you to run. And I'm going to try and get out from under it.
Okay, fantastic. So you're going to use your action to try and get out. So I would like you to make, unfortunately, it is... So it is actually just a grapple check. So you can either make an athletics or an acrobatics check.
I'll do athletics if that's all right.
Athletics, go for it.
Can I have Xenophars?
Yes, you can.
I did not do this earlier. Shit.
You've got your
I'm going to use my inspiration
Get
as
out of
well.
there, just get out of there.
Can you use this inspiration?
That's 19.
19. You get pounded. Your armor is taking the impact of the first hit. The second one crushes you into the ground, and you feel it lift up the third impact, and you just stab and roll. You don't think the sword does any impact, but it causes it to flinch and buckle down on one knee briefly as you roll just to the side, and thwack, it sits down on the ground below as you look up, and see only its knee above you and its head far above that as it sort of picks itself back up. That is your action. You are out. You are no longer pinned.
Okay, bonus
ground.
action. I'm going to chug a potion.
Do it. Yeah. 2d4 plus 2.
Oh, come on.
Can I borrow that, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I could have done my...
It's fine, you're going to get it now.
But he's out now, so...
Right, okay.
You might be
so
back
that's-
underneath it at any point.
Okay, I'm on 24 now.
24.
And I have one healing
Okay.
potion left.
Perfect. You're level 5, right? How much is your max health at the moment?
43.
Okay, no, that's fine. I just did more than I thought. It's all good. Blue. You can see Theren just about managed to roll out battered and bruised, but up, looking very sweaty.
Does he look rough? How rough?
Are you
He looks half rough.
Half rough. Is that okay?
The sweat has just moved his hair over.
The sweat
I
is
like
on
to play that
half
if
of his face.
If you're on half health or above, you look more tired than you look
Okay.
He
damaged.
looks
Yeah.
like he's just been sat on by a
He,
great big
he
lava
looks
fat.
like he's just been sat on.
To get within touching range, would I also be in range of the creature?
Having just been hit by the creature, you would imagine so. Yeah.
Fucking brutal.
It's got long arms.
I know. But, well, you'd think.
You're a mark
You
thing.
might think this.
Oh my god. Okay, well, bonus action to heat metal anyway.
Okay.
Yes.
So-
Sizzling
Yes.
metal does the damage.
Come on.
Where's the other D8?
Oh, you had
There you
it.
go.
No longer inspired.
And it is just.
It's just 2d8.
It
Isn't
is 2d8 again.
Come on, babe.
So that's 9.
Okay.
9.
Thank you.
9 points. And then action 2. Do I do it?
So sorry, it was 9 points.
9
I
points.
said it and then didn't actually take it in. Yeah, no.
That's nice.
Can I? I can't hold a movement, can I?
No.
You can only hold an
Okay.
action.
If. But then I'd use the spell. And I can't do a spell because I've just used the spell. I can't use
well,
Vicious
it's-
Mockery.
No, you can because you haven't cast a spell. You're just concentrating on a spell that's already cast.
I'll cast
So-
Vicious Mockery, so can you make
Okay.
a wisdom saving
A
throw?
wisdom saving throw, that is a 20.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking hell.
Sorry.
Right, that's me.
Fuck!
Done.
What would you like to say?
And I can say, Theren, if you come near me, I'll heal you.
Okay, perfect.
I'm not going
The
to
flab giant, like, angry at Theren sort of having gotten out, but just distracted by the constant buzzing pain in the back of its neck and seeing you from a distance being annoying, it is going to move round there, and it can only move 20 feet, so it'll go
Oh.
and then to here,
Ooh.
and using its long
Reach.
lengthy arms and
Oh,
reach, it's going to
nuts.
attempt to attack Blue. So, first attack is a 16 to hit.
Yep.
Second attack is a 22 to hit.
Yep.
First attack does 13 bludgeoning damage.
Oh.
And the second attack does 10 bludgeoning damage.
I'm down.
No! What? How?
As Blue
He had 22.
thump as the impacts hit him into the ground, and there's a moment where Blue just goes crushed into the ground. And Theren, you look to see where Blue is and realise that already Blue's body dragged towards the giant as it begins its familiar squat on top of him.
Has he sat on him?
No.
Yes.
Oh, really?
So, Theren, what would you like to do?
The giant is currently sitting on Blue. Okay, so the giant is sat down.
Yeah.
Right. How far from me is its head?
I mean, you're adjacent sort of space,
How
and
high
it's
up?
about 8 to 10 feet.
Its head is 8 to 10 feet up, even though it's sitting down.
Yeah, it hasn't lost too much height. Its stumpy legs flatten the way that it sort of waddles around anyway.
Right, then I want to move round to as close to Blue as I can get. And
You can get within touch, right?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
if it sits on you and then you roll and you don't make it,
what would Theren do?
he will try and distract it, but I don't think that's going to work.
I can't look.
What I'm gonna do is I am going to I'm gonna move around within touching distance of Blue, and use 19 of my 20 points of lay on hands.
Okay. Perfect. You
to-
feel that divine energy
Thank
pulse
you.
in and like a defibrillator hitting into Blue, pulses him awake. But you're restrained, you are grappled, but you are alive and awake.
And I would have lost my concentration.
Unfortunately, so the heat
Yeah.
metal is now gone. So remove the little heat metal above.
There wasn't,
There was
that's
one.
for the
Yes,
Yes, you
balance,
are also
so-
prone. Not that it makes too much difference right now.
Okay.
But so that is your action. You haven't really moved. You can still move.
Well, I've just kind of moved around here, haven't I? So.
Yeah. Okay.
Then sort of the only sort of thing left I can do. I'm just going to scream in this thing's face and try and get its attention on me.
Okay.
Scream, finish what you started!
Make an intimidation check.
Oh, I'm good at those. This is when he rolls a 1.
Yeah.
17.
17. There is a familiar sort of sight of your furious screaming at it. It looks at you and locks on you, and you think you have its attention. As it sort of half recoils and half focuses its horrible breathing upon you. I think that's your go now. So,
Blue, now is very much the time to run.
Blue, you are still grappled and restrained.
So can I try and get out?
You can. It would be your action to try.
Yep. Two things disadvantage or?
Disadvantage, so.
Oh, sorry, I don't know.
Is you grappling?
So you're making
Wait, you roll.
either an acrobatics or athletics check against the grapple DC, which is
Athletics.
fairly high.
Just one roll. Or?
Yeah, do you want to inspire yourself, or are you going to just make a straight roll?
I think you should probably inspire yourself.
Yeah,
I could get a drink as a bonus action, so if this fucks up, I can still give myself a bit of health.
Okay.
I can't look.
Tactics. That's 16.
16. The DC is 17.
Ah!
So sorry. I'm so sorry. You go to move and it just catches you at the last moment and crushes you further into the ground.
Try and slug a potion. Is it 2d4?
Yeah, 2d4.
2d4 plus 2 just about managed to quaff this potion.
So that is
Good day. I think you never know, it might work out.
5, 11.
11 points of damage. Okay.
Wait.
31.
Here's
Nice.
you up. You're on fairly high now.
Thank you.
We need
You
to
have a
knock
movement
that
at 0, and unfortunately it is now the Flab Giant's turn.
Cool.
But its attention is now focused upon Theren.
Also cool.
So, Blue, unfortunately you are still in the pin, so you will take some damage. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage. But its attacks, the slam attacks, are now going to be made against you, Theren.
That's fine.
So, the first one is 24 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
The second one is a 15 to hit.
That won't.
So you get caught by one hit. 1 and a 2. A 1 and a 2. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as you manage to deflect the worst of the impact, but still the weight as it's writhing around, but not satisfied with its ability. It doesn't seemingly be able to grab you at the moment.
Okay.
It is your go, Heather.
Then I am just going to stab it.
Okay. So you have your extended range. You now have advantage.
I have super advantage.
You have super advantage.
Fucking destroy it, David!
Hang on. Roll 3 d20s. Come on, you
Yeah.
roll them all at the same time. That's the joy of it.
Okay, highest is 22.
22 hits.
I'm also going to
Smite
smite.
the fucker!
Smite the fucker. Smite it.
Can I keep these just in case? Oh, you need them.
Oh no, I got one.
No, he doesn't need more dice.
I got some yellow ones.
Right, 7,
11.
11.
18.
Thank you. 18 plus 5 is 23 plus 3, 26.
26 points of damage. Wow. I'm just not used to playing with paladins. Okay, this time you just slice through its stomach. The familiar burning ricochets into it. That impact hit it. You see it stumble back and reassess and holding its stomach as it spits and froths towards you.
How's it looking?
You can make a nature check for me.
Shaking too much. Nature 19.
Bothered but not mortally wounded.
Right, okay, cool. I'm just going to have a quick tipple of my other health potion if that's alright.
Okay.
Down it down.
Right. Burn through the potions.
It's plus
That's plus
8.
2d4 plus 2, so that's going to be 6.
6 points.
Oh, plus
So that's going to be 20.
Heals you. Okay. And that brings us now round. Unless you want to move anywhere?
No. I'm going to stay as close to it as possible and try and keep its focus on me.
Okay. Blue.
I'm actually on 21.
Okay.
Yeah, you get cure wounds instead of taking
This
a
thing
potion.
is now beginning to suffocate you.
Try and get out again.
Okay.
And
you want to inspire
I'm
yourself?
going to inspire
What do you
myself.
say? Don't die here, Blue!
What do we say?
The hurdy-gurdy. Underneath.
You don't need the hurdy-gurdy. He's a man of words. He's a man of literature.
No, it can't read!
Okay, so that's 8 plus 3 plus 6 out of my brain. 17.
Which is the DC.
You pass.
Whee!
With the inspiration, you pass. God damn it, birds. You're so good. So you managed to this time roll out the way, timing with Theron's impact as it slices across the stomach. You managed to roll out of the other side into your feet, dazed but awake. The giant just doesn't even see you as it now begins to flail at Theren, desperate to hit him. That is... Oh, so that's 24
Yeah.
and a 13.
No.
So one of them hits.
Yes. Oh, sweet.
One.
Gee. Thank you,
7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, right, yeah, fine. My health's just going, woohoo!
My heart.
Have you?
Never mind. So it's now beginning to sort of swing at you desperately, but is now noticing that Blue is sort of out and is just looking and reassessing. But Theren, it is now your go.
Okay, I'm gonna hit it again.
Do it.
Come on.
Triple
Super advantage.
Super
Super
advantage.
advantage. Come on. No! Don't do
I
this.
don't know where it went.
You're going to have to roll another one then, aren't you?
I have to.
Yes. Fuck's sake. Oh my god.
17.
Let's do it. 17 hits.
Sweet.
Yeah, it hits.
I'm also going to smite again.
Okay, you keep burning through those spells, yeah?
Okay.
Come on, David.
Good rolls.
Come on.
Good
Come on,
rolls.
David.
19.
19. Okay, again, a second branding smite across. This time its knee as it looks back. It sort of pulls itself back. You can see goopy blood starting to boil down the side of its leg like a volcano, slowly erupting as it flails around. Anything else you want to do?
No, there's nothing else I can do.
Okay. Splendid. Blue. Your turn.
Is this guy looking?
You can make an edge check for me.
Okay.
If you would like.
No.
It's a big giant, you're not sure.
Okay, in which case, Q wounds 2nd level on Theren.
Ta.
Okay.
So he
Roll those dice.
gets
Roll those dice.
It's 1st level, so it's 2d. Okay. Oh fuck!
Oh fuck! That's
So
two twos on the dice.
4 plus 5, 9.
9 points. It all helps.
Jesus.
It all helps. That could be another swing.
And then bonus swig my 2nd potion.
Okay.
So 2d4 plus 2.
Burning through their resources. It's interesting,
Fine.
isn't it?
Why did I leave you guys alone?
Why did you? That's a good question, isn't it?
This is just to punish me. It's nothing about these guys.
Yeah,
I'd written it out.
we're
You see
slowly
things
dying,
down,
and it's all about you.
It is about me. I'm
Good
just
old
dooting
Aubrey.
back from the doo-doo-doo.
Blue,
Okay.
blue.
So that's
Ring, ring, ring.
your turn.
Yep.
Brilliant.
And let's finish this fucker.
Back to the giant, now frustrated
All
with the
run.
fact that Theren is just beating into it. It is now going to use its squatting pin again on you.
Okay.
There's nothing you can do about it. This time it just uses its weight to fall forward into your space. You try and dodge, you just can't escape. You are grappled and restrained again.
Okay.
And you're going to take a little bit more damage.
Okay.
There's the rolls. 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
This time, and you are grappled and restrained. Blue, you see Theren just disappear under this mound of flab as its head rolls forward and looks at you as it reaches out towards you. What would you like to do?
Theren, yeah,
You'll go
Theren first.
You'll go first.
Well, I have no idea how it's looking, do I? Oh, fuck, I have no other option.
No, you've got no clue.
I have no other option.
You want to stab it?
I was going to say, there's a spell there.
There's a spell,
Yeah.
but frankly, it's relatively pointless.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the best use of any of my magic now is smiting.
I agree, smiting is the best way, but...
Yeah, I'm going to stab it, so it's just one straight d20 now,
One
isn't it?
straight d20. You're
It's-
using the black d20 as well. There's a risky move.
14.
Let me just confirm.
Oh, crap.
Just hits.
Oh.
It has an armor class of 14.
Smite the fucker! Come on!
I'm gonna smite the
You're
fucker.
smiting the fucker, right, fine. So if you don't know what the smiting paladin thing, first level spell slot gives you what, 2d8 extra radiant damage on your
Yeah.
hat? Yeah, that's fine. Doubles when you get a crit, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
8,
Let's do that.
15,
All
Thank
the
you,
good
Fiona.
rolls.
20.
25, 28 damage.
28 damage. Fuck, 90, 400. How did you do that?
Hey!
As it sits down on you, you can see it just falling down on you.
Okay, as it's falling, here's what I want to do.
Yep.
This may approach a retcon, so I'm going to tell you the first half of this and tell me if it's okay.
Yep.
As it's falling, I want to sort of duck out of the way, slash at the back of its knee,
Yep.
or back of its sort of its tendon, so it falls back, round to where its head is, and Theren is just screaming in rage, going to keep slamming Bearclaw down until it cuts its head off.
It takes you a good minute.
Yeah, it's a minute of him just going, "Ah!"
Yeah, there's a moment where it stops struggling, like it can't reach round
Just a
the
body
back.
thudding.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just not dexterous enough. Its limbs can't move against its own muscle and fat as it tries desperately to grab you as Theren just wails on the back of this creature. And that's where we'll take a break for
You
now.
can get some health back because of this.
You do get some health back.
I can keep track of everything else, but I'm not doing my thing, okay?
Very true. So we'll take a quick break. See you in a second.
Fuck my life.
Hello. Welcome back. We've all had a mini crisis in the break. Genuinely, I've been told off.
I didn't tell you. Don't look at me.
It felt like I was being told off, but that's fine. It's fine. So, Aubrey,
Hello.
after watching these giants for a sort of minute or so, you'd like to start making your way back down, would you?
Yes.
Okay.
Very stealthily.
Okay.
And I know I'm still... Well, Blue has used invisibility before, so I know
Yes.
it lasts a certain amount of time. Would I know how much time I had left?
It is about an hour, isn't it? I think it's an hour cast time. You, however, about a minute and a half after descending, so you're sitting on top of this rock.
Oh, fuck.
You feel a familiar sort of warmth spread over you, and you look down, and the invisibility has gone.
Okay, yep.
You thought I'd missed that, but I hadn't.
Alright. Definitely good down. I'll get down from my position, please. As quick as I can.
Unfortunately,
No!
you rolled a 10 on stealth, and I asked you for a stealth roll just in case that happened.
You did.
As one
Meanwhile-
of them
Meanwhile.
looks up and sees you briefly on the horizon against the north. And you hear a as it sort of starts to stand up as you disappear down the
Yep.
other end.
As
So
quick as I can, please.
I'd like to make you, if you're going as quick as you can, I'd
Yes.
like an athletics check.
I'm very good at those, that's fine. 13?
13 is enough. It's enough. You start to make your way over. It is still difficult terrain, but you power your way through.
Okay.
As you are sort of getting to the bottom of the boulder pit, effectively about 300 to 400 feet behind you, on the crest of the hill, you see a figure approaching, slowly pondering a unsteady gait as its fatty form lumbers from one side to another as it starts to follow in your direction. You can see that it can see you. It can't move fast, but it's coming your way.
Okay, I would like to dash back to the beach as quick as I can.
Okay, full dash.
Full dash.
Wonderful. It takes you...
I move 40 feet.
You move 40 feet.
Yeah.
You're moving pretty quick. You're
Yeah.
matching it for speed, even in difficult terrain.
Oh no.
So now you're going 40 and 80 feet effectively, so every 10 seconds. So actually, you probably arrive at the beach not long after the end of the combat.
Okay.
You arrive in a scene of devastation. There are 3 wooden structures.
Oh, okay.
in this village.
Okay, yeah.
All look like they have been
Okay.
torn apart, absolutely ripped apart at the seams. You see Theren and Blue panting and like nursing sort of injuries, superficial injuries. They look just absolutely washed through with sweat and like they've slept badly, like they've exercised massively. There's no...
Theren is laid on the floor.
Yeah, there's no visible wounds on either of them, but they look absolutely broken.
Okay.
And a huge 10-foot corpse of a creature lying in the middle. You can see the familiar 3 different smite burns across this creature. You can see a burn in the back of its neck. You can see other stab wounds in it. And the 2 of them...
Let's not do that again. Hey, Aubrey.
Hey! Oh, you found one.
You missed a good one.
Did you just say what?
There's at least 5 of those things back there. Did I see cardamom or whatever he's called as I ran across?
You didn't.
Okay, he's disappeared. And I presume the pagoda's gone as well.
You don't remember seeing it?
I was too busy brushing. Fine. We need to hide. I think it's got the scent. I don't know.
I can do my bubble.
Will that work?
It will take me 10 minutes.
Yeah,
How long will that keep us safe?
8 hours.
but what about the rich woman, Lady Riverwater?
You took...
Did you
Where
where
you
are
see
they?
them?
I don't know.
Did you see them at all?
No.
Fuck them, they've
Then-
run off.
Run off.
You see in the horizon, about 500 feet away, a creature slowly descending.
We need
from
to get out of here. To the caves?
Coming your way slowly, ponderously. You would guess it probably would take about 25 rounds to get to.
Which is how long exactly?
Oh,
6
20,
It's like
25.
It's like 2 minutes.
150 seconds.
Yeah, 2
so,
minutes and 30 seconds.
We
yeah,
can't. We
very good.
can't find another one of those.
I didn't think we were good. Why did you find this one?
We weren't presented with a lot of options. Where the fuck were you?
I went to go scout the other area.
Why?
I thought it was a good idea.
It was clearly not.
Alright, we don't have time to
Right.
argue.
Okay. Let's. We need to go in the opposite direction of that thing now.
So wait, so is it going towards us with the
Oh yeah.
what, from what
From the sort of the
beach?
boulder
Stop
field.
counting. This is out of game.
from the beach or
From the boulder field, it's sort of crested round the side of the mountain and is now dropping down onto the beach to where you are.
So it's coming to the beach. Okay, so
Yeah, it's
we
coming
need
towards
to.
the village. Yeah.
Well, there's another path up to the caves, right? We can go there. I mean, that might block us in, but then we'll have a point to defend, right?
That doesn't work against these things. How can we? How far away is the beach?
The
Well,
beach
like,
itself
yeah.
is probably only about 50 feet from you. You can
Right, and how
stand
far away is that
around
thing?
The island. It's about
500.
500 feet. Well, no, now it's probably about 400 and
It's
something.
good. It's good.
Right. If we can get to the beach, we can row out to the ocean. It's not going to follow us out into the sea.
You're making a lot of presumptions there.
Might throw stuff at us.
If we can get. Oh, fuck. Right. Okay. Let's just.
We just
fine.
need to hide.
Fine.
Yeah,
All right.
Let's hide. I've
Let's-
got fog cloud if we need to run.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go. Let's go
do it.
then.
We'll go back to the beach.
So back to the beach. So if you imagine if the mountain is sort of up here where I am,
Yep.
and you guys are kind of down here, and the beach is kind of there, the boulder field is kind of there.
Yep.
So it's coming from sort of this way down.
Oh.
So you would have to go kind of
Oh, I thought it was coming this way.
perpendicular. No, it's coming your way round. No, it wouldn't go
Okay, I
around
thought
the
it-
entire side. The mountain's huge.
Right.
There's enough of this island to be.
Well, let's not go towards it. Let's go the other way.
Alright,
Let's
let's
go further
hide
and further
in
into the village.
The village is these 3 structures.
What's
It's
past the village?
past the village. You can keep going. It looks like, again, the cliff sort of begins to get a little steeper. Sort of a 20% incline and continues round.
If we can get above it, maybe we could throw rocks, throw something on top of it, slow it down.
Alright, let's go.
Okay.
Perfect.
We go away from it.
You
not
may go
towards it.
away and sort of up. You quickly get the impression that you can move faster than it. It doesn't move fast. It's got about 20 feet of movement per turn. And it doesn't seem to be interested in dashing after you. It's making its way slowly. It seems intent, but it's not rushing. You all leave the village and you make your way sort of going round the island, or you're trying to get up?
I think ideally up.
Um,
To try and get some sort of
Anything that looks the
hiding
most
spots.
covered.
Yeah.
Okay. You can get about 200 feet upwards without too much difficulty, and then it gets a little rockier. You start to climb, not sheer rock, but certainly it's more scrambling as you begin to go upwards.
As it gets rockier, I stop the party, get some rope from my pack, just like the beggar's bowl.
Right.
Tie a bit around Aubrey, then further down round me, then further down round Blue, so we stick together in case anyone falls.
Okay. Fantastic.
As we do this, cure wounds, second level.
Cute.
Wow.
And that's my last second slot. Second. 6, 5, 11.
11. Okay. So, you begin to tie ropes around yourselves. Can you each make a sleight of hand check for me, please? As you try and tie the ropes around you.
Theren. Sleight of hand is 17 for Aubrey.
2.
2 for
18.
Theren, 17 for Aubrey,
Mm-hmm.
and 18 for Blue.
So I'm going to check this. I think I've done a shitty job on knackered.
Do you know that?
You all do your ropes. So, you start to make your way up the steeper part of the mountain. So I'd like you all to make athletics checks, please, as you begin to try and scale the side of Mount Arnan.
15.
15,
18.
18,
11.
11. Between you, you do fine. You begin to rise another sort of 100 feet. The beach below you in the village begins to fall away. Very scenic all of a sudden as you rise higher and higher on the mountain. The mountain itself, probably about 1.5 kilometers still above you, it rises tall into the sky. You can see clouds now in the afternoon beginning to form around the peak. Almost the gleam of snow at the top, settled on the top. But you make your way up. You see the creature still following. You're moving slower as you sort of climb, but even at the closest point, as you get about another 200 feet above where you were, so you're about 400 feet away from the beach now in terms of height, it stands at the point where you began to climb. It sort of looks up and then just sits down and stares at you.
It looks like it stopped.
What's the time? Still like 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock? 3 o'clock? You're not sure.
Quick break.
I would very much not like to sit down.
I'll,
Let's try and find somewhere covered first. Just okay. You gonna do that? Cool.
I spent 10 minutes preparing.
Can I just? I want to watch what
Uh,
this giant's doing. If it
okay.
just staring at
I'm
us,
going to
right?
keep an eye on the giant
Yeah.
as well.
We're
How far
literally-
away is it?
Yeah.
About 200 feet.
Below, below, like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
How has it attempted any of the climbing, or has it stayed at the bottom?
It felt around for a couple of minutes and then
Oh.
it's just sat waiting.
This thing looks slow. Now, Blue and I fought one of them close up, and it was a terrible idea.
They have long, ridgy hands.
Yeah.
And they just sit on you. If it stays far enough away,
Yeah.
we each have something we can use at range, don't we?
Not a lot of range, but yeah.
If it stays far enough away, or if we can keep drawing it back and back, Bearclaw can hit it.
But what if it's not coming here because there's something worse on the mountain?
Can we afford to take that gamble?
No.
There's no choice here. Blue and I are exhausted. We can't
Yeah,
fight
I
anyone.
see that. I see that.
I mean, I could cast fly on you.
How long will that work for?
Let me think.
Do you think this is the right time to be discussing this?
1 hour.
An hour.
Yeah.
I could fly above it, use Bearclaw.
Just piss it off like a fly.
There was apart from this one, there's another 4 of them. You fought one. Who knows how many more are on this island?
I want to look out as far as I can, see if there's any more following us.
Perception check.
Oh.
I like you're still talking about flying.
That was a natural 1 again.
Oh
A
my
natural
God.
1. No, you're just locked
I'm
on
knackered.
this one. You're tired. You're focused on the immediate threat. Your mind doesn't even wander to looking elsewhere.
I don't know.
Okay.
If you can make me fly, I can kill that.
I could also maybe levitate a rock that weighs about 500 pounds and just see if
Drop
I
his eye.
I remember that theatre show. So Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
I was thinking 30 rocks for the third rock from the sun.
Oh, okay.
Well, the point is,
Anyway, sorry.
the point is, it might take a while, but if with your flight ability and Bearclaw, we know what it can do.
We could drive it off.
I
Or
could
call
kill
its
it.
friends.
Yeah.
Look, you guys are clearly obviously capable enough to take 1 down, but can you take on 4?
No.
No,
Then
we can't.
let's
Not
be-
even with you.
Yeah, let's just be clever. Let's just be clever about this. We've lost fucking tiefling. We've lost. I'm proper panicking now.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. It's all right. It'll be fine.
it has to be.
Then what we need to do then is
Wait, I think maybe we should wait it out.
yes. We'll take it in shifts. Your cover. It'll last.
8 hours.
And you didn't see them at all. They weren't on the beach.
I just got Blue's message, then saw these things, and I was like, shit.
And that's when I take it this one saw you.
Yeah. Yes.
And there were 4 others.
Yeah, there's 5 in total. Presumably they're tracking through some sort of smell, perhaps as well. I don't know. I've not seen these creatures before. I've only heard about them from tales that my dad used to talk about.
Anything that can help us? Anything?
It was a long time ago. He died when I was a kid, so
Right.
That sucks.
So, what would we like to do?
Then we need to rest.
Let's have a quick break at the very least.
Yes. Well,
Yep.
I'm happy to keep watch.
Until the 10 minutes of me.
I'm happy to keep watch for the whole 8 hours. You guys need it more than me.
Oh, I'm just thinking like
Are
a
we
short
talking
rest.
a short
A
rest
full
or a
rest,
long rest?
okay,
It's still
I
about
mean-
2 o'clock in the
Yeah.
afternoon right now.
My body clock's not up to sleeping now, I have to say.
I don't know about you, but I could fall asleep in a moment. All right. Well, if we're doing a short
I'm happy to
short
take the
break,
I'm happy to
then-
take that, yeah.
Yeah. Let's take a quick break.
Okay. So, Aubrey, you want to take watch
Yep.
whilst the short break happens?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you like to make a perception check for me, please?
Oh, you know I would.
The hut is
That's
Ooh.
19.
19. So it is a ritual cast,
10 minutes.
that one. Perfect.
Or 11 minutes, technically.
Okay, so it takes you 11 minutes and the bubble springs round. And when you're in the bubble, nobody can see you, right?
Yeah. From the outside, it's opaque.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make it kind of the greyish of the stones around us, or the rock around
Perfect.
us.
Okay.
Just there at the side.
Okay,
But we
fine.
can see out.
Yeah, we
So-
can stay out.
You spend some time watching. The bubble springs into existence. You all get inside it and watch out. After about 10 minutes, the creature, the giant below, is sort of squinting and trying to see where you've gone. It doesn't seem to have a lock on you anymore. For about 5 minutes, you see it start to climb towards you very slowly and painstakingly. It gets about 50 feet closer in about 5 minutes. So you've been invisible for about 5 minutes now. And you see it sort of slip for a second and continue moving. Slowly but surely it starts to rise up, climbing. It gets within about 120 feet.
I've got my axe ready to rush out and hit it. And it comes within...
Gets to about 100 feet.
Don't do that. Look, if it gets any closer, cast fire on me. I'll draw it away. I'll use backlaw. No.
Watch
It gets a little, about 100 feet, and you can see it hit a point where you had to climb over. It sort of loses its grip slightly. You see one of its legs slide down the side of the rock as it sort of licking up, and then sits back down again. Sits there, just watching your general area. About 10 minutes ago.
Desperately looking for spells. I'm sorry.
And about 15 minutes ago. About 20 minutes ago.
Just seeing if they can hear us on the outside.
I don't think so.
No, it doesn't say. So
Okay.
I think people could hear
Assume
us.
that it can. You can
Yeah.
You can whisper. No,
Yeah,
we're
I
talking
assume we're
now, but
whispering,
we're
yeah,
seeing
okay.
whispering. To about 25 minutes in, and again it starts to try and move up.
Alright, if it gets much closer.
This time it hauls itself on top of the rock and begins to slowly climb towards. It gets to about 80 feet.
Cast fire on me. I'll draw it away.
No, wait. Just wait till it gets closer.
Why? If it gets close. No, you've not fought these things. We have. If it gets close, it just sits on you.
It can't
Right.
get in here.
Yeah, I can't get in here.
So why don't we just have a nice
Just wait
rest?
here. Just wait here.
A little short rest.
Then what if by the time 8 hours from now, this thing comes down and it's still stood there?
Not 8 hours, just give me 10 more minutes. I'll feel a lot
70
better.
feet.
Just,
I'll feel a lot better
About
and
60
I'll
feet.
be worth
Are
fighting
you
it.
sure it can't get in here?
guys.
And then about 50 feet. This time, its climbing is really impeded. It hits a bit that it just can't get its legs through. You can see it's really starting to struggle with the height of the rock that you guys managed to sort of put between you and it. It sits down again. This time you can hear the... It's the thing wheezing as it's trying to breathe. Its fatty form just slowly. At one point it picks up a rock and you can see moss on the underside, and it just starts to... Its teeth just grind against the side of this rock as it just eats the moss on the underside of it. And it sits there and waits.
Fine, we give it a few hours.
Half an hour passes.
Is that equivalent of a short rest?
We're on alert, that's the thing.
You need an hour, especially
okay.
under a pressure situation like
Yeah.
this. 35 minutes. 40 minutes. It picks itself up again and it starts to move closer.
Yeah, it's ready.
What do you want to do, guys?
This time it heaves itself across the ledge, gets within 40 feet.
Blue. Make me fly.
Now's not the time, Theren.
I can be out of its
What's your
range.
spell? Sorry.
Fly.
Lehman's tiny hat. I'll use this, don't worry.
It's a distraction at the very least.
A 10-foot radius of immobile dome of force springs into existence, blah 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 blah. 9 creatures can be in it, blah blah blah. Creatures and objects within the dome can't, when you cast a spell, can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. Spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it.
Okay. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get in.
10-foot radius. Okay. Fine. So it gets within 30 feet. And then 20 feet, you can hear it lumbering over Aubrey. Now this thing is close. You feel its size. 10 feet is tall as it gets closer and closer. Now 10 feet away from the side. And then it reaches the side of the bubble as it sort of sees it, notices it, and you see it grab towards the bubble and sort of grabbing it as it's...
You can give him a poke.
And you can see its eye sort of lurking down as it tries to like look inside it.
Nothing can go through it or out.
Yes, it can.
Really?
Yeah, you can stab things outside of it.
No, I thought no objects can pass through it.
That I don't determine.
Sorry.
Now, can you do that without breaking
That's what I'm
concentration in the
thinking.
spell?
It's not concentration.
I thought it. Or you have to leave the area for it to destroy.
Yeah, but you.
Oh.
Creatures and objects within the dome, when you cast this spell, can move through it freely.
Okay,
Oh my god.
there we go. So, you... Are you going to?
You want me just to stab it?
I mean,
Are you going to, Blue?
free hit.
It might not know it. I don't know.
It knows something.
It's looking at it.
It's
You
okay.
see
We
it.
can see this thing.
Now, you can see it purling itself on top. It tries to sort of climb over the dome, but it's about twice the size of it. With 10-foot radius? No, it's about as tall. It picks itself up, starts to try and climb on it, and you feel the whole of the magic creak under the weight. It's fine, it holds, and you know it. You have faith it'll hold, but even you can see the ground around the dome just pushing slightly the weight of this thing as its whole body is now over the top, and then you hear a sort of as you see it trying to gnaw into the arcane force with very little success, but
Guys, you can pop in and out. If you want to just, I'll just chill here. I can do
It's
some...
currently on top of us, though. I can't reach it.
You can't reach it.
It's
It's
out
10
of
feet up.
stabbing range, isn't it?
oh, you could reach.
I'll give you a...
Yeah, it's outside. If you stood
But
by
it's
the edge of it and stabbed, you could stab.
It's kind of like
Stood
enveloping.
stood at the edge of the
I thought
thing.
it was on top of us, so it's 10 feet up. That's why I'm like...
10 feet up but 10 foot tall, so you could probably get
Oh,
one of
okay.
these.
Crazy.
Suppose.
The question is it feasible for Aubrey and Theren to just sort of like poke the edge of their weapon out?
And then come back in. Oh, I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know if I want to do that.
They don't know. I know. What would you like to do, Blue?
Would I know from reading this?
You can
Because
make
I know
me,
it's possible.
you
isn't
can
it?
make me an Arcana check if you want some advice, or you can just give him what you think Blue would know.
You would know this, and it says creatures and objects.
We can move in and out, but...
Yeah. Within the dome, when you cast a spell, can move through it freely.
Would you like to go with your gut?
Don't look at me. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's fine.
Go on, Blue. What do you want to do?
Yeah, this is fine. Well, I can't see any issue with this. Why are you getting me so
I'm
paranoid?
I'm just trying to progress the
I'm
story. We've been sat here
sorry.
for a few minutes. What would you like to do?
Why don't we just chill until we've had a short rest and then we can mess around?
Alright.
If you don't find that too annoying, you may get bored or fall
Well, that's the
asleep.
thing. Well,
You see it sort of like resting on it. Every now and then it lifts an arm and the dome shakes, but holds. As garbled noises come out of it.
I mean, if you guys need the rest,
We do need the rest.
I've got one healing potion left if someone wants that.
Save it for an emergency.
Okay.
Like the rest.
Look, let's just.
So, are we
let's just-
waiting or
Let's
are we?
just wait for now, alright?
Yeah, I think wait for now is our
Yeah.
best option. He might just go away.
Okay.
That's my
Let's
go.
wait for
So-
now. Wait for now.
You complete your hour's short rest. You can have a short rest
And
if you
The
need it.
weirdest
Darren, you
short
get your
rest
spell,
in
you
the
get your
world.
warlock spell
Done.
back. You get your warlock ability back, and you can spend hit dice as you would like. You should all have 5 hit dice right now.
I do.
I get an extra d6 because of your Song of Rest, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 extra d6 if you need it. Aubrey, you are fine.
Don't look at me.
And I get all my bardic inspiration back,
Well, there you go.
which is a big thing.
That is a huge thing.
That's
Very
Very
good.
important.
Wonderful. So, in the time that has passed, the giant, bored of its inability, it's tried hitting, it's tried leaning, it's tried sitting, but it cannot get through. It is deeply unnerving, but it cannot get through. And at the moment, it has basically just fallen back on its only other option, which is just to lie across the top of it. It currently is splayed over the top, and it appears to be half snoozing, half staring, in a state of like sort of sofa blindness, you know, and you just sit there, you're lying there and going, as it stares deeply into it, but it hasn't moved.
It hasn't moved. Alright.
Yeah, I think we go for it now we've had our short rest. Give it a poke, we're fine.
Okay.
Right,
Okay.
no, backup plan
So
first.
what are you doing?
Yeah, backup plan first.
Okay.
If this doesn't work,
Need to fucking run.
The dome only disappears when I leave it.
But if you do leave it for some reason, we need a backup plan.
Why would I leave it?
I don't know, Blue.
We just
Why
okay.
would you leave it?
If we leave it, okay. Fog cloud?
fuck.
Then we go where?
I guess further up the mountain. Or should we go try and get back down?
Should we try and kill it?
I mean, that's the aim, right?
Right, kill it, planet A. Plan
Plan A,
B,
kill it.
fog cloud. Try and head back down.
I can do
We
that.
need to find our person we're supposed to be looking for.
Fucking lost them in the first 20 minutes.
And
Yeah.
again, cast flight on me. If I stay out of range of it, I can use Bear Claw,
Fog cloud,
flight.
fly. But
Is it only one or the other?
that's a very good, astute question.
I'm sorry, I don't know
This
much
is
about magic.
okay.
Yes, even if you're using the bardic instrument, it still counts as a concentration spell
Yeah.
to hold it. So yes, you can only cast one concentration at once.
It is concentration, so
No, I can only do one.
We'll just have to run then.
Fog and run. And then
No,
once-
sorry, I meant, and I sort of roll my eyes and say, if he wants to put fly on him, he would probably be quite good.
Yeah, you would be awesome. Okay.
But then you have to run as soon as you cast that.
I've got my defensive flourishes.
I would
I don't
Just-
know what that means.
when he's good with the sword. Right. We'll try and stab it. If this doesn't work, the two of you run. I will buy you as much time as I can.
Awesome. Right.
Okay.
Do you want a stabby?
We'll try it. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I focus on keeping. Well, I don't have to. It's not concentration, but I cross my fingers.
Me too.
Okay, you cross your fingers,
Yeah.
and what's happening?
You're gonna stab its
Aubrey and
fin
I
from the
are
inside.
going to hit what's available from the inside.
Okay, so you're going to stab through
Yeah.
Yeah.
and slash through.
Yeah.
Okay.
I nip back, so if the bubble does break, he just falls in the middle.
Yeah, I guess
don't
we're on.
get crushed
We're
by
go,
him.
yeah, we're on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we make
Yeah.
it so that we're not.
Well,
Sort of towards
within
the
the,
edges.
confines of it, you can get to the edges, but you're still within sort of danger zone. But
Yeah.
But it's more. It's less like, but we can try
Right.
and get out of the way if need be.
Yeah.
If
okay, so I'd like everybody to roll initiative, please.
I can't look.
This is interesting, isn't it?
12.
Hmm.
15.
Okay. So,
12 as well.
Aubrey,
12.
12, and 12 for you as well.
15 for me.
15 for you,
Karen goes first.
and Blue is 12.
Yeah.
Who has higher dexterity out of the two of you?
I've got 2. I think you'll have a bit more.
I have 2.
Oh.
Well,
Hello.
to be honest, we get
We
to act
can
at the same
decide
time.
it,
Yeah. Well, we'll say it at the same time. So, Theren and Aubrey. It
Yes.
is a surprise attack. You
It is.
both have advantage as your weapons slice and they pierce straight through the bubble into the giant. So, yes, you have super advantage.
No, that wasn't actually what I was asking about. True Strike.
Yes.
Would that count for my next round, or does that only apply for the spell?
This counts as it's your next attack.
So this
round.
counts as my use.
You have advantage anyway. So in this particular case, it's just advantage. But
Fair. Okay.
you still roll 3 dice as you would normally do.
Can I?
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Come on. Yeah, let's just destroy it and roll.
Grind those balls.
Oh.
There is a
20. something.
over 20.
Hits.
Yeah.
Is it a plus 10 or something?
Plus 8. So
24.
24.
Does that hit?
Yes. Surprisingly,
10 damage.
10 damage. Your weapon sinks into the stomach of this creature. Aubrey, make your attack with advantage.
No.
What are you thinking about?
No, too late. I've rolled it. That is a 25 to hit.
25 easily hits. Were you thinking Great Weapon Master?
I was, but
It's almost like it's a big, soft, squishy target, isn't it?
next time.
Next time.
Ooh.
That is, it's a 9 plus 4, 13 slashing damage.
13 slashing damage. Weapon slices into it again. You thud into the side of this creature and you rip your axe back, but it's just fat is all you've hit. The damage is ricocheted in. You see it's just that roll like a wave, Mexican wave of fat that sort of through its body. As the bubble holds, you see this creature scream in agony as it starts to lift itself away from the bubble. However, its initiative is terrible, and that was a surprise round.
Yes.
So Theren, you're still within melee range of the bubble. Would you like to hit it again?
Yes.
Hit it again. Just a regular attack this time. It is now aware of you.
Keep it.
What?
Are you going to use your new spell slot that you got back?
No, I was going to curse it.
Alright, do that.
Do I get a go too?
Since
That was a surprise round. Oh no, yes, but I think we did specify that these guys were attacking and you were hiding. We hadn't said anything at the time. But what would you have done?
Just thrown a stone at it to annoy it.
Make an attack roll.
won't that affect your concentration of?
Too late. He said it. He's done it.
It's not a spell though.
What's the heck?
Oh, true.
It's like 5 plus Dex at 7.
7. You can use strength for a throwing weapon. You don't have to do dex.
No, it's... No, so it's 7 plus 3
Yeah.
to 10.
8.
10.
Yeah,
The
10.
rock just against the fatty neck.
Take that, you shit.
So
Good luck, guys.
Fuck off, giant.
yeah, what would you have to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna use Hexblade's Curse.
Okay. Fantastic. You focus again, bare claw in your hand, that familiar warmth.
And instead of saying anything to the giant, instead I'm going to talk to Bearclaw.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna say to the sword of my hand, don't worry, I want it dead as much as you do. And stab.
So you just whisper to the
Make an
floor.
attack.
Ooh. That's 27.
The sword almost. Was that natural 19?
Oh shit! That was a crit.
There you go, David. It never happens.
That's the first time I've got a 19 with Hexblade's Curse.
That's amazing.
I'm gonna fucking smite it.
Yes!
Okay.
Oh.
So what was the weapon damage first?
The weapon damage was 4.
Plus is
4 plus 8,
12.
so it's 10.
4 plus
12.
8 is 12.
Sorry, no, sorry. The first roll was 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double that was 4.
Right.
My next roll for now radiant damage,
So what was the weapon though?
4.
4 damage.
4 slashing.
Plus, what would you plus to it? So it's your plus 4 charisma, plus 2 for dueling, plus 1 for magic, and plus 3 for
10.
X-Blade.
So it's 10 in
So
total.
it's 14 total. Yeah?
No, 10 in total.
10 in total.
10 in total.
Okay, 10 in total.
Add 16 to that.
Radiant damage? Yeah.
Yep.
So 26.
Add another 16 to that. So that's 42.
Using Bearclaw, you focus the power, the divine power. The sword lights up with the flames and you plunge it straight into this creature's neck. And there's a moment where you despair as the sword passes through the bubble and the radiant energy billows brightly against the inside of the sphere as none of the divine energy leaves the sphere. Unfortunately, spells and spell-like effects cannot pass through. As your sword plunges in, the weapon damage happens, but unfortunately the smite does not do anything.
Right.
That's a shame.
Oh.
Oops.
So that's your attack. Which
Yeah.
you map the spell slot off, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah,
So, yeah.
Well, now we know when we use this again another 4 times.
That's it.
Hey, I'm glad nothing can get in. Okay.
So, Blue.
Keep going, guys. You're doing great.
Are you holding your action for anything, or?
I don't want to risk doing anything to pop this bubble.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's valid.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be... If one of them does get hit, I'll heal with Philip. Oh, but that's holding cure wounds.
It is. Yes.
Okay, I will just... If the bubble goes down, I'll stab.
If the bubble goes down, you're going to make an attack. Perfect. Okay, Aubrey.
If it farts,
It's
has
me.
dispel magic capabilities.
Can I... I'm not going to rage. Can I Reckless Great Weapon Master?
Reckless, Great Weapon Master. Yes, you
Wait's
can.
there.
So remember the -5.
Yep. I've written it down.
Come on, Aubrey. Oh.
That's a -1. If you can believe that. That's
You
a 1 and a
hit
4.
me.
So 4 -1.
Oh,
but
so
remember
plus-
your other things.
Oh yeah. So it's 1.
So what it is? You got +4 and +3, so +7 to +2.
No, so it's a natural, yeah.
So +7
7.
roll. Yeah, unfortunately not. The weapon just
Fuck my
swing
life.
wildly, and Theren has to dodge out the way as the axe
Sorry.
really swings in power. No, unfortunately not. Second attack?
Oh, yeah.
Did you make a second attack last round?
No.
Unfortunately not.
That's 2 6s. So that is that's not going to hit, is it? That's on 13 to hit.
13 doesn't hit. No, unfortunately, this time you spud into the leg of this creature. You can't quite reach without leaving the bubble. It draws away, and you don't quite get the impact that you wanted.
Yeah. Underline 2 attacks all the time now. Sorry.
So,
Please continue.
You're doing great, guys!
the flab giant, it pulls itself away from the sphere. Spittle just flying against the wall of this bubble. You can see it's just staining with like phlegm and spit and rage and horrible things coming out of its mouth as it backs away 20, 30 feet and sort of waits outside.
Yeah.
Theren, what would you like to do?
I can't cast Eldritch Blast through that. Because
Nope.
it's a spell.
Correct.
You could pop out, bzz, and then pop back in.
I can absolutely do that. Wait, it's 30 feet away.
It's about 20 feet away. It's difficult to say.
20 feet from which
It's 'cause
side?
it's kind of 20 feet, but slightly above. So, rules of triangles, yeah, it's about 25 feet away.
Great. Instead of popping out the front of the dome, what I want to do is pop out the side
Okay.
to get a bit of extra range.
Yep.
And Eldritch Blast.
Okay, so you pop out.
That should theoretically keep me out of melee range.
Yep, perfect. So you pop out the side, the sword crackles with the energy, and
Yeah.
Eldritch Blast fires.
Yeah.
Make the attacks.
I see why they call this the Dungeon Master's pain.
First one is a 16.
16 hits.
Second one's a 20.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
That hits as well. So roll your damage. Make sure you roll.
Okay.
Get the double.
First one is a 1.
So that does
One
1 damage
damage.
plus your proficiency because you've got Hexblade's cast up. So that's 4
4.
damage. Okay.
Nice. Second one. Oh! 16, 20.
16, 19.
Sorry.
Plus 3.
We're
19.
all struggling.
Okay, the second Eldritch Blast hits exactly the first one hits and ricochets off it. You can see the power, that
Doesn't
horrible.
blow back off the thing.
No, it doesn't.
Shit.
The green and purple and black sort of spiral around it, blinding it as it swats away this power, as it now lurches back towards the bubble to try and
I pop
grab
back
you
in.
as you pop back in. Blue.
Oh, sorry. As I pop back in, I just want to say, this will take a while, but it will probably work. This is roughly what I had in mind with flying.
Yeah, do you want to stop it going back, though? If it goes back, I'll make you fly and you can just chase it down.
Alright.
Okay, well,
If it retreats, we'll do that.
you got any javelins, Aubrey? Go at it.
Yeah, it's your go though.
You'll go, Blue.
Well, just good luck, guys.
Is that it?
Okay,
Sweet.
perfect. Aubrey. This thing is 25 feet away and coming closer.
Oh, it's coming closer. Good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
No, no, I'm gonna rush out.
Okay.
What?
Rage.
So you rush straight out of the bubble, rage, the lightning crackling round.
Yep. Can it make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Yes, it can. That is a 1.
Fantastic. That's a 4 lightning damage.
4 lightning damage as the lightning starts to crackle up the leg of this creature as it sees you coming towards it and its teeth now beginning to open.
Sweet. I would like to reckless both my attacks with Great Weapon Master.
Okay, perfect. So make those attacks
I will.
with advantage.
With advantage. Okay, so the first one is. Hang on, sorry. Oh my god. 21 to hit.
21 hits.
You're using Great Weapon Master, so it's -5.
Yeah, so it's plus 2.
Yeah.
It's just plus 2, that's what I was doing. And then the second one. Can I use Great Weapon Master on both of them or only one of them?
You can use them on both, yeah, if
Okay.
you want. As long as you declare it before you roll.
That's what I was just checking. No, that's going to be 4.
So one of them hits and one of them doesn't. So roll for damage. As the first swing arcs wide, and as its leg comes down to stamp on you, you cut straight this huge sweeping arc into the foot and soul of this creature, slicing it open.
Okay.
Oh,
That's almost a 12.
nice.
So that is a 15 slashing damage in total.
+10.
25. Wait, hang on, sorry. 9. Sorry, it's 6. Yeah, so 25 slashing damage in total.
25
David.
slashing damage in
I always
total.
forget.
Barbarians, they're so complicated.
Ah.
You just go, thwack, catch its leg as it comes kicking towards you, and it screams out in pain, bringing itself back as its spittle flies everywhere in agony. What would you like to do? Your movement up, you've moved 25 feet.
Can I move around it? So it's
The other side, so the other side of the bubble. Yes, you can. Perfect. Its move, however,
Yep.
it is
Brilliant.
going to instinctively attack you.
Go for
It
it.
knows that it cannot. It's not quick. It's got to. It either eats or is eaten. This creature, but
We aren't gonna eat it.
it's going
I don't
to
know.
make
We'll
a
bring
slam
my
attack
hungry
against
now.
you, and it has advantage.
It does.
So that is a 20 to hit,
It does hit.
and that is a 20 to hit. So both hit.
Brilliant.
She's raging, so it means
But
nothing.
it's a lot of dice there. Don't say that.
Taunt me, Sam. You
Don't
taunt me.
say that.
You'll roll ones. It's
There
fine.
are my rolls.
Oh no.
4, 8, 11, 13. So in total, 23 bludgeoning damage, halved to 11. So this creature smacks Aubrey twice.
Ow.
You see Aubrey just dodge out the way. The second one hits her and she grits her teeth and takes the impact. And then, in the same way, the creature just falls on top of Aubrey, having hit her with both the slam attacks.
Sweet.
It can, with its bonus
Theren's
action,
inevitable
make
mental breakdown.
the squatting pen. So you are now restrained,
Yep.
you are grappled,
Sweet.
and you take a little bit more damage
Bring
as
it.
well on top of that. That's
We've
another
all
8
had
points,
this
so 4 points of
experience
bludgeoning damage.
4. That's half already, right?
Yeah, it's halved, yeah.
Good to know. I'm happy underneath this giant. It's fine.
Exactly. It is now crushing you. Theren. You've seen Aubrey rush out the lightning flare, gets a solid hit on the creature and is now underneath it.
There's like literally a full second of him going, "Didn't I tell her not to fucking attack it at melee range?" And then Theren will charge out and go and stab it.
Okay, go to stab. Stabby, stab, stab.
Hey!
Natural 20.
See,
Here are the crits. Fantastic. Oh, this would have been such a good fight.
I know.
10, so
The giant did avoid a smite of like 40 damage earlier, to be fair.
20.
20 points of damage. This time, it's sort of satisfied. You can see its teeth beginning to open up around Aubrey's like leg, just poking out from under its flabby
that's
torso.
mine.
As you jump onto its back and the sword slicing into the back of its neck, it just shouts and screams, twitching, thrashing out. You think it's pretty close to death now. It is hanging on to action, movement.
Yep, that's it.
Perfect. Blue.
I'm gonna rush in and do a. I'm gonna.
So you're going to rush
What
in.
would blue do?
I'm gonna try and hit it.
Okay, so you run out and attack with your sword. You see blue. Which weapon are you using?
My longsword.
Your
I do
longsword.
not want to miss this.
Okay, right. The longsword
Smart.
comes out.
And I'm gonna, if I hit, I'm gonna do a mobile flourish to push him off. Fuck.
Please, can you make that with disadvantage?
Oh, balls.
Because you told me you're trying to move the creature, the attack is made at disadvantage, unfortunately.
Oh, but it's with my bardic flourish.
I know, but it is massive.
Yeah,
Attacks that
huge
push,
creature.
trip, or grapple are made with disadvantage against the flag giant.
I
He's
mean,
perfect for this. It's so great.
the first one was a 3 anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was waiting to
Sure.
see if you'd say it. But yeah, because you deliberately go to push it with the flourish, your sword slices in and you charge into it and bounce off. You get the impact, but it doesn't hit a vital organ, and you bounce off
Okay.
as you hear the pop of the bubble behind you
Mm-hmm.
disperse.
And I will scream out, I had something for this. Raging 925, what a way to make a killing.
Nice. I love it.
She's all accent, no giving.
Perfect.
Theme song.
So,
It's me.
Aubrey,
Hello.
what would you like to do?
Firstly, I'd like to Storm's aura this bitch. Technically,
Hello.
He's on top of you.
correct.
I will let you auto it.
Oh!
That's fair.
That's
with
very-
with,
that's-
with
that's
the
very
storm's
kind of
aura.
you.
With the storm's aura.
That's
So
very
roll your
Shooting
d6.
lightning up its ass.
I mean, it can't really do
Nice.
much.
6 lightning damage!
6.
Finally!
5 health. You see the creature lie on top of Aubrey, and there's a sort of as the lightning ripples round it. You see the clouds round the mountain now. This building have grown thicker and thicker and thicker as the lightning begins to meet up with them, sparking up the side of this mountain as it twitches and thrives, and it can't help but just spasm out of control, flitches off Aubrey as you see Aubrey rise, and I'm guessing just kills the creature dead.
I thought you
You're
said
out
these
of
things were
initiative.
hard.
Do you also remember when I said if you attack it at close range,
Yes.
it will sit on you?
Yes.
Did I stutter when I said any of that?
Oh, okay.
Or was I in fact very fucking specific?
I mean, it's
It's dead now.
easy, guys. Come on. We won. You okay, man?
No.
Seem angry for some reason.
I am. Let's just find a place to get a fucking camp for the night.
Yeah. Should we find the weird royalty people?
Where did they
Do
go?
we have any way of contacting them though?
Not personally.
No.
But so,
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
Hold on a minute. We know we're looking for something here, right?
Signs of civilization. That's what they say.
Right. Keep an eye out. There's something I want to check, and I go into my pack and I take out the order papers, and
very grumpy.
I want to have a look through them.
Okay, it's going to take some time. So are you having another short rest? You staying put? What are you
I'm
doing?
guessing-
Because at the moment you're 400 feet up the side of the cliff face. You're fairly exposed right now. It was difficult to get to, but you're not exactly hidden
Do
where
we
you are.
want to try and
Sure.
find somewhere first before you have a read of your...
Can't he just give us another?
Give me 11 minutes.
Okay.
11 minutes, bro.
Split.
Okay.
I read.
With the bubble. So are you short resting, or are you just taking some time to read?
I'm
I
not
guess-
using a short rest.
Yeah, I'm guessing
I'm
we'll wait for a
alright.
second now. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So you'll take some time to read. So you go through the notes, and there are some things that you find out. It does seem to be a collection of several sources of work. It's all damaged. It's difficult to get any sort of fixed narrative, but there are facts that you can glean.
Any important stuff I'm relaying as I'm reading it.
Perfect. Okay. You learn a few things. This is an official expedition of the Order. And there are 7 members of the Order assigned to this specific quest. There are 3 Inquisitors. You have 3 members of the Preservation Service. And 1 name you do recognise. High Inquisitor Augustus. He's
Sorry, how many preservations? 3. Ta.
3 preservations, 3 of the military legion, all Inquisitors. and one High Inquisitor named Inquisitor Augustus. You know this man.
Wow.
He is a bit of a dick, as all the members go. He's a man of his sort of 40s. He is brutal in his training regimes and famous for his lack of empathy or understanding for students that don't necessarily learn as quickly as he wants. You've been on the receiving end of a few beatings from him.
Ooh.
As I read the name, there is a very long and drawn out. Ugh.
You know, about 6 months ago, he was assigned overseas to lead one of the tours, the touring parties from the Order. The other names, you don't get any sort of hint of names from what you find. You know that they were searching for pre-calamity information because they mention it a few times in sort of things that they have found. Apparently they've located at least one tablet of some kind. You can see it on the sort of the order forms or the stockpile. You see a couple of notes as well from this journal. It doesn't appear to be Inquisitor Augustus. It's an unnamed source, but legible, very fine writing. From what you can tell, just from sort of little experts, the supplies and the morale of the group were low. There's mention of a cargo ship that wasn't there, didn't turn up, or was scuttled, or was something along those lines. Mentions of monster attacks, repeated monster attacks. They can't keep the monsters back, and constant notes about needing to scrounge more weapons and ammunition to keep these things at bay.
When I say monster attacks, are they specific on what kind of monsters?
No, not from the information you've got.
I relay to the team that, all of that. I'm assuming High Inquisitor Augustus is very well trained.
Oh yeah, he's a High Inquisitor. Yeah, he's one of the one of the 20.
Then I say to the group, if he's struggling, then this is a far more dangerous island than we were led to believe.
Yeah.
I would like to find any of the survivors we can, if there are any.
Mm-hmm.
If there aren't, I need to confirm it
Mm-hmm.
and report back about their deaths.
That seems
Sounds
fair.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're searching for something pre this, before the world became as it is.
What, cataclysm?
Yes.
I don't know.
It must be said at this point that the two of you will have heard the cataclysm as a thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Theren, the Great Cataclysm, is something the Order teach you. A betrayal of Perith that effectively ruined the world as it is. You believe the world was subjected to some sort of cataclysm that flooded it. The two of you know the cataclysm in a slightly different light. The cataclysm is sort of another way of saying, oh, it's one of those guys raving about the cataclysm.
World is nice.
The world used to be beautiful. Oh, let's save the cataclysm. It's to an extent associated with not quite lunacy, but it's not.
I get you.
It's not something that everybody believes. It's a little bit like doomsayers. Do you know what I mean? People who believe the world is and the end is nigh and all this sort of stuff. It's know the Order believe it. Neither of you are particularly
Convinced
swept
by
up
it,
or convinced in it, unless you want to be. But
No.
The point is there might be something from before here. We need to find that.
Is it worth money?
It's not about money, but it's about knowledge.
Okay.
And what would we do if we found it then? Return it to the Order? Give it to Lady Riverwall if she's still alive? Return it to the Adventurers Guild?
The way I see it, it's the Adventurers Guild. Our orders are simply to keep Lady Riverwall, wherever she is,
Yeah, we're not
safe.
Not doing very well at that, are we?
We, in our orders with her, she's looking for what?
Science
Evidence of
civilization.
civilization. if we do find something pre-cataclysm here, I want to keep it from her. It doesn't belong to one noble. If there's knowledge here, it needs to be safeguarded for the good of everyone.
Okay. If that's what you think is best.
I do. I know you might not believe all of what I believe.
No, but I just did have a giant sit on me, so frankly, I think we're both happy to agree to disagree at this point.
And neither of us has the energy for anything else.
No.
Right. We need to find some place to set up camp. We need to find who we're here to protect. And we need to find survivors or, para forbid, bodies.
Does one of you want to fly around for a bit, see if you can spot the nobles?
I'm alright with that. I'll do it.
Okay, we won't have our bubble.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll be okay. I can protect you whilst this is off.
You know what? No.
Is that what you're doing?
You were going to say something?
Too
Yeah,
late.
you already
It's
did
done
it.
it. It's done it. It's done it.
There
No.
wasn't any magic.
No.
He did just boop you.
Boop. That's a magic fly boop. It's done.
You feel yourself suddenly weightless.
I was about to say
Lift
that.
up, and it is the most disorientating.
Oh god.
Yeah. Surreal experience. Like
Don't-
after a couple of seconds, you realise you can control it.
Oh.
Don't vomit, for God's sake.
Oh wow. Oh, this is. You can do this every
Oh,
day, and
it
you
is
don't.
so-
I was saving one for you, man.
All right, I'm going to have a quick look. How long does this last?
An hour.
I sort of want to lightly push off the ground.
Yeah.
God,
You
fucking
hover about 5
Iron
feet
Man.
from the floor.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Just go.
All right. Do I just
Yep.
think
Yep.
in where I want to go?
Pretty much.
Happy
All right.
thoughts.
So then, I guess I just want to, and I just.
You see him launch up the mountain, I guess. Up that way?
Yeah, just kind of going up and round.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, 60
Turn
feet
left.
around. You can dash without any expediency, but
He's not going to dash. He's going to spend looking around as well.
okay, wonderful. And
He gave himself 2 seconds.
What are
of
you
show.
looking for? Things on the island to see, places to camp. That was the one task
Priority.
you were given, was to find camp. You
Camp.
remember?
Second most important thing, signs of more of those giants and any other potential hostiles. Third thing,
Don't care about Lady
the
Overall.
people we're there to protect.
That's really low down on the list.
Yeah, it's like camp, chance of sleep, enemies, shitty
Lady
nobles.
Rewards.
Perfect. You see Theren launch himself into the sky. That's where we'll end it for today.
Ah.
It's gonna.
So you say something.
Come back to that.
That's fine.
But there we go.
Talk to me next week, Blue.
Hey, that was some fantastic use of magic there. You entered one battle without much plan and tried to melee something that was quite difficult to melee, and the second time round you used a combination of magic and range spells to very, very capably defeat it. So well done. That was it shows you what planning can do, I guess. No, I mean that in the best way. That was a very good use of tiny hut there. That's very good.
That was a
That's
good
very
use of
impressive.
Tiny Hut.
Thank you very much for watching, everybody. We will see you all next time.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye.